Hello, Julie.
Hello, Carolyn. I'm so happy you're back.
I know. I had a lovely vacation.
Oh, yay.
But I am happy to be back and into our routine and to see you and Jane and Deb and all the librarians over between our two.
You were very
pages.
missed. Very missed indeed.
Well, that's really nice to hear. Because you always wonder,
Yes.
what's my impression on the world?
Pretty good, I would say. Pretty good.
Well, maybe not a little world. It'll be good. But anyway, a lovely vacation.
Oh, good.
My sister and I traveled down to South Carolina, and we visited with my cousins.
Ooh.
And they took us all around the area. We went to they live at Myrtle Beach. But we went to Charleston and we just had a really good time. But I'm so happy to be back. I miss New England when I'm not here.
I know.
And now we're coming into my favorite season, which is fall.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I've got some really cool books to
We
review.
have new books. After that whole thing about the ransomware attack from our book distributor, we have tons of new books.
I know, and I've got my pick.
Yes.
And it was really good too, because yesterday was the first day I was back at the library, and I saw all these new books, and I was I just got so excited.
And you were gone for the whole time when we didn't have any new books, so you didn't know how hard it was for us with no new books.
Yeah.
Yes.
But as they say, the shelves are overbrimming.
Yes.
With
I
new
said
material.
that older fiction would love to go home with people.
Well, okay. Well, I've got some really cute book. This is adorable.
Yes.
Come on. This speaks smile. Call of the Penguins. It's fiercely resilient, impeccably dressed. Veronica McCready has lived an incredible 87 years, most of them alone, in her huge house by the sea. But Veronica has recently disappeared. A late life love of family and friendship, adventure, and wildlife. More specifically, a love for penguins.
Yes.
Look at that book.
I am reading the first one, so this is the sequel to the one that I'm reading.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it is charming, absolutely charming. I would say if you love the Frederick Bachman books, like My Grandma Asked You to Tell Me I'm Sorry, and the one about I can't remember. But anyways, if you love those, this is right in that same vein.
So do you know the first one? Because
yes, the first one is called Away with the Penguins. Although in Britain it's called The Penguins Save Veronica.
Oh, okay.
But yes.
Okay, so there's two good. You can start with the first one, and then pick up the second one, or you can
do it the other way around. People have done both.
Yeah. So Julie says you don't have to read them in order.
You don't have to read them in
order.
order.
But it looks positively.
It is, and I have the other one right over there on the desk as I was reading it at lunchtime.
Oh, okay. So this is really cool.
It is.
And it's a nice little book, and
she's a hoot. She's an absolute hoot.
Okay. There you have it, folks.
Yep.
So come get it. And next we have one of my favorite authors, Spencer Quinn, who writes a tongue-in-cheek private detective adventures with his faithful friend Chet, the dog.
Oh.
And so he always has these clever titles. Listen, Mark to the Future, or Chet and Bernie are off on another adventure.
Ooh.
So, and the thing I love about these books, because Chet the dog has a voice.
Oh, in the book. Ah.
And he uses it frequently.
Oh.
And he has all these pithy little statements like, sniff, sniff, I think I was here before. Oh yeah, I recall that Ginger Snap was whatever he was looking like. And they're two lovable characters. There's nothing too violent or mostly tongue in cheek, but just to hear Chet talk.
Oh,
and
is that your bookmark poking out of the top of that book?
Yes, well, because I was away and I was in the library yesterday. We had all these new books.
Yes.
Boy, I said, oh my God, Spencer Quinn, let me grab it. And so I just started it, but as it says in the back, Chet's narration makes this story a fine tale. and Chet is a great dog.
Oh.
And boon companion to Bernie. And so they're off on another adventure.
Now, there's a lot of these. And you know what I'm going to ask you.
No, you don't have to read them in order. Each of their mysteries or their adventures are standalones.
Okay.
And so, and he's very, very prolific. So there are a lot of Chet and Bernie books. And you don't have to read them in order, but because Chet always goes over and over and over about, you know, Bernie's divorce and his new girlfriend and her dog and just...
So Chet keeps us up to date.
Chet will keep you up to date.
Yeah.
And I would love to meet Chet. He sounds like a really, really cool dog. And it says it. Chet's narration makes this story a fun ride. So I recommend this highly.
Oh, good.
And he's very prolific. And you don't have to read them in order, but when you pick up one Spencer Quinn, you can't stop.
You have to keep reading
them. You have to keep reading. So this is
oh my gosh, you'll be done with it in 2 days.
Oh, right. Oh, and here's another one. Jennifer Shiverini is a very, very, very good author.
Yes.
And this one, she does historical fiction.
Well-researched historical fiction. Yes.
And her stories and her plots and her writing is just absolutely fabulous. I can't recommend her more highly.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
She's really good. And this one, as it says, she never loses her focus on her four extraordinarily courageous, resourceful, yet relatable narrators. Shiverini's many fans and every historical fiction reader who enjoys strong female characters will find much to love in this revealing World War II novel. And I checked it out. And I do intend to read it because I've read her other books.
Yes.
And they're all good. She's a very,
good.
very good writer. And this just seems to be just the book cover.
Right. I love the way the women are standing, their postures and everything. It just something draws me in about that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So it's the switchboards. So women in the Army Signal Corps.
Right. Who a lot of those women did a lot during the wars, but so often they weren't recognized for what they did.
No. And books are not written about them.
Right.
It's usually males. But trust Jennifer Shiverini to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
So highly recommended by both Julie and myself. So
and if this one is checked out, all her other ones are equally as good.
Yeah, and she's very, very prolific.
Yes.
She's got a bunch.
Because the last one I read of hers was The Resistance Women.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all those. Yeah.
Look at it. So you have a wealth of entertainment here. Yeah, and this...
And if you are one of the people who likes the Amish books, because we have several patrons who like the Amish books, her beginning books, what she first used to write, were all the Amish quilting books. Books about Amish women who were in a quilting group. So if you're interested in that, we have a lot of those too.
Right.
Yes.
Good point, Julie. So here's
the phone.
Okay,
you keep going, Carolyn.
I'm just going to keep going, Julie, because we have to keep our time. So And again, here's another James Patterson book, who is written with Shattered.
They are the last one.
And he's written with this with Michael Bennett, who he has written with before. And so
No,
this,
they have already taken all their donations, and now they're just
now
working
they
with
say in the back that Michael Bennett is the
Yeah,
unlikely
summers when they
detective
usually take 'em. Yeah.
thrust into the primary role of negotiator, sleuth, and hero.
Oh dear.
Killer at thrillers. James Patterson creates chilling bestsellers,
All right, thank you.
according to the People
Bye-bye.
magazine.
Last
and
week
so-
in October, yeah.
This one looks very, very good. And you can see by the cover that the title is very appropriate. The title is Shattered. So there you go. I mean, doesn't it just...
Is that Lincoln Center?
I think so, yes. Or
Or the,
maybe
what is
the
it?
Capitol?
No, Capitol has a dome, though.
That looks like kind of like a...
Well, if you
A
know, put
government
it in the
building.
comments so we know.
Okay. Well, this is New York. It's a New York.
Oh, so it's
Think
neither
so.
of the places we were thinking. I was thinking it was Washington, D.C.
Well, me too, but I thought it was more the Capitol. Well, not the Capitol Dome building, but one of
Yeah.
those.
One of those
One of
buildings
those
they light up at
buildings,
night.
like, you know, like War and Finance or whatever.
Yep. War and Finance.
You know those institutional
Oh.
ones. Yeah, so. Anyway, this is a good one.
We digress.
Oh, well, we digress. But that's okay, right?
Right, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Ooh, do you have an oldie but goodie for us
I
next?
do have an oldie but goodie with by my favorite, one of my favorite authors. I love Kristen Bieber,
Another historical fiction that's just amazing.
and I loved this book.
Me too.
I love this book. The characters in here are so real,
Mm-hmm.
and the journey of this young woman as she is kind of put down by her family as being not up to par with her sisters, and because she I think had not hay fever, the rheumatic fever.
Yep.
As a child, they treated her a little bit differently. And unfortunately, she meets a man. Oh, actually not a boy. And because she's so naive and innocent, she succumbs to,
Well, you know.
a little bit of an affair, but she gets pregnant. And her family disowns her, but they make her marry the boy. And his family accepts her and just
For the
treats her
first time
so
ever,
well.
she has unconditional love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's a forced marriage, so you know it's not going to work.
Mhm.
But she has children, and it's during the Dust Bowl years where people...
And it's his mother who is the one who accepts her and who
Yes.
loves her so
Yes.
much.
Yes, yes, it's his family.
Yeah.
And it's set in the Dust Bowl era, and where people are migrating to California, and this progress that this woman makes from naive young woman to forward thinking, right on target. I'm standing up for myself and my children.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey that you take with her. And
Yes.
it's just remarkable. I love
It really
this
is
book.
remarkable. It's well worth a second or a third read because I remember I'm thinking I should read it again because the story so engulfed me that I just didn't want to put it down.
Yeah.
But with a second read, I'll be able to go more leisurely through it and
Right.
even see
And-
more.
And see more.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the story is
It's
just holy
oh my
cow.
God. I know. It's amazing
Yeah.
how this young woman just emerges
Mm-hmm.
as a force to be reckoned with. So
Yes.
you're right. It's worth reading. If you've read it before, rereading it will only make you more.
Yes.
Yes.
And I didn't know that much about the Dust Bowl. that during that time, and wow, did I learn a lot.
Yes.
You certainly do.
And not only about the Dust Bowl, but about how people were treated in that area, especially if they didn't have money.
Right.
And, in being forced to camp. And it's just a revealing book on the social mores of that era. And so it gives you a real understanding. When you leave in school, you learn about the Dust Bowl.
Right.
And this really gets it home over the place.
It sure does.
So if you've read it before, it's worth a second read, and especially if you haven't read it in a while.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Yes.
So I did it twice. I'm going out with it. But I mean, there's so much.
There is so much. And after I read that book, I checked out Dayton Duncan wrote a book, when Ken Burns did his documentary.
Yeah.
Dayton Duncan wrote a nonfiction book for kids about the Dust Bowl. And it has a lot of pictures in it, which was what I was craving after I read this, was I want to see pictures. And boy, that book, which we also have at the library, just full of pictures that really showed, given what I learned in the book, I looked at these pictures in a whole nother way. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
I'll show it to you next time it's in Walpole. I'll show it to you next time we're there.
So, well, that's it for this week.
Yes. Are we going to see you Saturday?
Absolutely.
Yay!
I'm going to pick out a book to read the first page for Sneak Peek Saturday, and so that'll be good. And the other thing is that I tuned into Ken Burns' Holocaust. Very good. Recommended.
Oh, excellent.
So that's it for today, Julie.
All right, Carolyn.
Okay, I'll see you on Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.